Hi Virgos, this is Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology, and I'm here with you guys today for your intuitive 2021 tarot forecast. We're going to be taking a peek where you guys are at the end of 2020, where you can expect to be at the end of 2021, and what are the energies that are going to be carrying us into that. In the extended, which you will find the link for in the description box below, we are going to be looking at advice for navigating through this energy. As I was sitting down meditating on the first half of your spread, you guys, the UPS guy came, or FedEx, or whoever it was. This is one of my favorite historical decks. It goes back to like before 1900. It's gorgeous. It just showed up on my doorstep, so you know it's coming out in the extended. I think it's going to complement the Alchemical Visions Tarot very, very well. But nonetheless, welcome. Thank you for being here with me today. This collective reading is for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, Dominant. Maybe you have a 6th house stellium. Maybe you have a Virgo stellium. However you identify with the Virgo collective, cross watchers are always welcome because it might help you to gain some perspective on what somebody around you is going through over the course of the next year. So if it doesn't make sense now, maybe like add it to a playlist and check back in later in the year. Maybe it will at least plant a seed about how you can best navigate these energies that are coming up. So, like I said, the link to the extended is in the description below. All the information that you need to find me on social media is also there. Real quick, you guys, I'm going to let you know. As somebody who has a Virgo and a 6th house stellium, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with the amount of information coming in with a message. I have 10 cards on the 10 tarot cards on the table that are just shouting at me. So much that they have to say. But I have a very, very important channeled message that I wrote down for you guys, and I'm going to share that first. Before I do that, can I just say real quick how much I love the Virgin Mary? We just had a video I did a couple days ago that was total pagan sun worship, but I have to tell you, I love my Christian deities and demigods and saints and whatnot, and Virgin Mary. I just love that I'm reading for the virgins, Virgo, on the eve of Christmas Day. So, happy holidays to all of you. Thank you so much for being here with me, and now I definitely feel Mother Mary in on this reading with us. The theme for you guys, Virgo, in 2021 is heart healing in a really, really, really big way. Oh my gosh. In such a huge way. In fact, I'm seeing a heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Boom, 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 boom. Like just all lighting up. Okay. Of course, before we can do that, we do have to master our lower chakras, some of our baser desires, our ego, feelings of fear and insecurity, and all of those things. All right. I feel like that's what you guys have been working on. This heart healing. Ooh, the message here, you cannot heal the pain you won't look at. All right. And the thing is, love is not logical. Heartache is not logical. Logical is what is useful to Virgos. If it makes sense, if it fits into their pre-existing worldview, right? So I think for a lot of you guys, you've had to go in and do some healing on your heart that was neglected before because you weren't recognizing that emotional data as useful data, as useful information. In fact, another message that I got for you guys was Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? And I think that there are a lot of Virgos out there who have said, you know what? I don't understand how this machine works. I'm just going to turn it off and shove it in the corner because it doesn't make sense. It keeps breaking down and there's no manual, right? Virgos are instruction readers. Christmas has taught me that. My dad's a Virgo, and nothing came out of the box without the instructions being read first. Meanwhile, well, he's like into paragraph 2, I've got it all put together. Yeah. So Virgos like to take things as they're supposed to be, take things in a way that makes sense. And love often does not. Okay, so that is, and happiness. Even why does this particular thing make my heart sing? That's not going to be a logical conversation that you're having with yourself. All right, so those are major messages coming in through Virgo. And then one more. I got this image of you guys. For some reason, Hermit mode is actually, there's a visual in this deck that appears to me in meditation to represent the Hermit, and he almost looks like he's in like a bathrobe and everything, like Big Lebowski vibes. I don't know why I that's my symbol for the Hermit in my meditation. In my meditation, I saw the collective Virgo coming out of Hermit mode and looking around and realizing that feeling like everything around them has changed, when the fact of the matter is they have changed. Their eyeballs have changed. The way in which they see the world has changed. All right? It's almost like just another one more, I'm going to squeeze this in. Another analogy that I have for this metaphor is like, imagine coming back to your hometown after like 10 years. And it's like, oh, I remember that used to be there and this used to be that way. And oh my God, my favorite ice cream shop is gone. And now you've got to like, did it move? Can I find the owner? Like, how do I get back that thing that I really, 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 really wanted? All right. And I had to bring that up because this is actually the second message that I pulled for you, Virgos. The first one felt a little too personal, so I put it back and I got a very, very similar message. But that was the main theme of one. Some of you guys are waking up from, or you're coming back to, let's say, your hometown, realizing how very different everything looks and trying to understand what you can still recover. All right. We're only, you guys, we're 7 minutes in. I'm sorry the intro took that long, but that big of a message was being channeled for you guys. Let's get to your reading. Where are you at right now, Virgos? You're in Hermit mode. Hermit also came out, by the way. It is the tarot card that has to do with the zodiac sign of Virgo. So it makes sense. You guys are showing up in your own readings in a really beautiful way. You guys are in relaxation mode. This says allow yourself to be lazy. It's okay to quote unquote do nothing. Mechanically, like logically, it doesn't look like you're doing anything, but this is a pupa. This is a pupa. I can't say it right. This is a cocoon, right? You are the caterpillar and you've crawled into your cocoon and you are gestating into a butterfly. Now, fun scientific fact, when that happens to the caterpillar maintains its consciousness the entire time, but physically is completely broken down into this goo, which is then reformed into the butterfly. It's not like it just sprouts wings, right? Like you got to break down the whole the whole caterpillar in order to create the butterfly. So that's what a lot of you guys are going through. I feel like this is you in Hermit mode, but kind of snoozing about the world around you, right? And that's okay. You're very, very focused in on yourself right now. And in fact, the Hermit card came out with the World card. This is very significant because actually the way that these cards fell out, Spirit communicated to me that we have on the table what I like to call an as above, so below spread. So it's going to show me what's going on maybe in your thought process, emotionally and energetically, and then how that is being mirrored in the world. This is, I want to call this the present moment. The as above is that you guys have withdrawn. You're really, really, really looking within. All right? You're thinking about the butterfly that you want to be, but that means you got to break down and deal with the caterpillar that you've always been. Right? There's all sorts of alchemy going on in there. I've never really paid attention to why are they pouring water into a hat? That makes no sense. But it is a symbol for the alchemization of certain energies. In other words, like you've seen something this one way for a really long time, but you're willing to transform your view on it. Or you felt a certain way about a very long time and you're willing to transform the way that you're feeling about it now. But you definitely have your eyes on the future. You see those telescopes? That's significant to me. And this map in the background means, it feels to me like you've really gone with, oh, now we got that. Okay. You've really gone within. Remember I talked about the caterpillar and the butterfly. You're no longer the caterpillar, but you're not yet the butterfly. And we've got feet. And feet I've been talking about lately as representing the foot chakras. Foot chakras, left foot represents where you have been, and the right foot represents where you are going, right? The path you have walked and the path you have yet to walk. And your narrative of where you have been in life and everything you've been through is going to inform your narrative of where you're heading in the future. So when we begin to change our vision of the past, yes. Oh my gosh. They just showed me like when you focus in the telescope and it just comes into clarity, right? You've been looking towards your future through a really, like, your lens is out of focus. Your lens has been out of focus. So you're going within to get your lens in focus. Okay. And in that you are very isolated from the outside world. This is your cocoon. Right? And you have multiple selves in there, which makes me feel like you're speaking to higher self. You might be healing inner child. You might be balancing inner divine feminine and masculine, but you also may just be beginning to see yourself as a multidimensional being, meaning that you play all of those roles. You are the divine feminine. You are the divine masculine. You're the divine, I call it the angel and the devil, right? Because we have our higher self, and I don't really want to call it our lower self, but our shadow self, which until it is integrated, can act very much like the devil card energy in the tarot. All right? So, you are beginning to change your view of yourself, of everything that you have been through, and that is transforming where you want to go. But I'm not sure that's super clear to you until you, right? Like, I'm going to go back to this hometown metaphor. Like, you grew up in this hometown, you're like, F this place, I'm out of here, I'm never going to see you guys again. And you get out there into the world and you're not paying attention to your hometown at all. And then one day you come back to visit and you're surprised that you're sad that certain things have changed. Okay? But what you learned while you were away really taught you some things. God. I'm getting so many songs. Why Not Me by the Judds. And there's this line, because you know it's a country music song, so I just assume they all happen either in Nashville or a small town, right? It's a small town country music song. And it's talking about you've been all around the world, and then you had to come back home to realize that the girl next door was what you always wanted. So for some of you guys, it might be about a relationship or it might not be. But nonetheless, this is going to be a long reading, you guys. I'm not apologizing about it because this is a free service that I'm offering to you on behalf of Spirit. All right? What you're thinking about is your old vision of happiness. Okay, because remember, like when you put your eye in a little telescope, you're like, what's my future gonna look like? You had this one particular vision, but it was always very evasive. Do you know what I mean? Like never just right in front of you. It always like was 6 more rungs up the ladder. Okay. Let me unpack this. There's so many things coming in. This right here, by the way, the world is not just your cocoon, but it's the symbol of your graduation from caterpillar into butterfly. Like you don't realize that you're leaving behind that whole other world. when you walk away, when you go into this hermitage, right? And literally you could be there for 3 days and you come out and it feels like it's been 3 years. Like, what? Why does everything seem different? You're different. That's why. Okay? When you come out of the cocoon, like the world looks different. You can fly now, right? Anyways, let's do this. Sense, imagination, what's ratio? Yes. Okay. I don't get all the Latin in this, but we have sense, imagination, something about ratio, intelligence, and then another word that has to do with intelligence. You are trying to climb the ladder of logic to get to all these cups. And here's you have to find a ladder that's made out of cups to get to all those cups. So in other words, oh my gosh, did I talk about Love is a Machine? You guys, like I said, I filmed this twice. There's a poem that I wrote that also Spirit was calling in as a message for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and post the poem in the description box below. All right. It's about some of you guys. Oh my God. Now I'm just getting all the imagery. So you guys have been like putting quarters in the slot and expecting love to pop out, right? Like, this is logical. This is how things work. I put my quarters in the machine and happiness pops out. But it hasn't been working for you because that's too logical. That's too practical. You got to sweet talk the machine. Maybe bring it some flowers. Maybe, you know what I mean? Listen to the machine. Listen to what it has to say. But some of you guys have been trying to deal with your heart like it's a machine. Because it's very, very confusing and overwhelming to you. It's outside of your text. Way to go, Shakespeare. That's a Shakespeare line. You are out, sir. You are outside of your text. That means that this is the script. This is your instruction booklet that you have written for how to get through life. And it's an instruction booklet. It's meant to be logical and rational. This is reminding me of the Aries reading, because Aries in 2021 is being presented with a problem that their old eyes cannot see the solution to. And so in that way, the universe is pushing them out of their comfort zone into a new way of seeing things. So what happened was, I almost feel like some of you guys were met with a vision you were met with the thing that equals your happiness, but it didn't. Now this ladder is looking like a checklist. It didn't seem logical. It didn't seem rational. It didn't meet your script of what happiness is supposed to look like, or what joy or love or any of those things are supposed to feel like, right? This also may have been with somebody who is not on the same page as you. But it's like almost catastrophic flooding going on down here. So for many Virgos, a flood of emotion can seem very, very confusing. You're like, what is this data? How do I make sense of this? All right. What is this data? How am I supposed to make sense of this? I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. By the end of 2021, you're at this place called magnificence. And what I love about this, it says own your magnificence. The world needs your brilliance and grace. I feel like you've been making yourself small in a lot of ways, right? But I also feel like these pink like orbs are it's heart healing. You're letting it happen. You're loving on yourself. You're loving on yourself. All right. I'm going to try to wrap this side up pretty quickly. So here you are. You come out of this. You come out of your cocoon. Come out of your cocoon and you're looking around, and I think that your first instinct is of panic, of anxiety, like, oh my God, what have I done? Because there's some part of you that knows, right? It's really, honestly, you guys, I've been through this too. You're like, I think I should grow and change in this particular way. And then after you do, you realize you've grown and changed beyond certain circumstances in your life that you really liked having around. And for some reason, I feel like this 9 of Swords, well, it's definitely a card of anxiety. But it's swords, meaning it's logic, it's reason, right? You're going back to logic and reason to look at the world. And you're not seeing anything that excites you. Two of Wands. You guys, part of... Remember I said I did a first reading and I thought it was too personal and so I put it away? The Queen of Pentacles was in it, and it's that same image. This is a Two of Wands. Some of you guys come out of your sleep and realize that there's somebody or something that you really want to look for. It's like you go back home and you can't wait to get that ice cream from your favorite ice cream shop, but the ice cream shop's not there. Okay, those 3 people and the world. The world, we can think of this as like a bubble that the divine has surrounded you with in order to get you through this metamorphosis. Do you see? So imagine the 3 of them in a little, he's in this globe, right? And he steps out. And there's somebody in the background like, oh, how was your nap? I don't know what this energy is. This is also somebody who's worried about a choice that they made in their past. And it's the lady from your dream. The lady from your look. Okay, this is your vision of happiness. Okay? For some of you, you had it right in front of you. But this, the Ouroboros inside the mirror means that there is some way that you are seeing yourself that was incompatible with climbing the ladder to happiness. So now that you've gone through the changes in the way you see yourself, you're like, well, where'd she go? Because we were going to climb this tree together. Do you see that? She's like, I don't know. I feel like some of you guys are really, when you get through this transformation, you're kind of beating yourself up for a path that you didn't go down. Okay? Because internally, you're the Empress. You're so ready and fertile and abundant and ready to grow. You've done your heart healing, and now you've got something that you can share from your heart. But look, it's the same guy, right? All stressy. Kind of like, well, where'd she go? Okay. You are ready. Internally. That's your as above. You're just like, wow, I see this differently now. And I see that it has so much potential that I didn't realize it had before. But you're kind of finding yourself standing there all alone. Okay. And so there is definitely some concern. The as above energy that we're ending with is the Death card reverse, which means something that you're not ready to release. I'm going to turn them upright in case any of those images are talking. Look at that Hermit. There's the guy I saw in my vision. He looks like he's trying to turn the clock backwards. You end up in love with yourself. You end up, maybe because of this situation, recognizing yourself in a very different way, showing up in the world in a very different way. Because the last time you made yourself small, the last time you tried to read the instruction book and follow all the rules, it led you to the wrong choice. It led you down the wrong path. But you needed to go through that to understand it, okay? So where we end this reading, remember I said death reverse is the as above. That's kind of the energy, is that this is that one final step of your transformation. There's one final step. And it's about coming to peace with something. Because the so below is the Four of Swords reversed. Not feeling at peace about something. Having a restless mind about something. Okay. Now remember, this is for all of 2021. So I feel like whatever this is, because of the number of major arcana here, this was on your path. Your spirit guides have led you through this process because that's how they were going to get you here. All right? But this is the energy that you're going to have to navigate through in order to get there. So like I said, we're going to take it over to Vimeo and we're going to take a peek at the Tarot of the Master, aka the Vashetta Tarot, which I am absolutely in love with. And it's so very, very unique in its imagery that I think it's going to have a lot of messages for us. So if you guys would like to join me, please do so. Otherwise, hit that thumbs up button before you go. Leave me a comment. Maybe share it. Subscribe if you haven't done it already. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. And if I don't see you at the extended, I hope to catch you back here on my channel again soon. Take care.